Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It's 6 p.m. Cairo local time. This is Shuru Bakir, and I'll accompany you through the latest development in the region and internationally, starting off with the headlines, followed with the details. President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi holds a joint press conference with visiting Comoros Islands. Foreign Minister Abdel Ati receives Iraqi Deputy Prime Minister and Foreign Minister on bilateral ties and regional developments. And the Israeli Occupation Authority calls up tens of thousands of reservists for Gaza offensive as strikes killed 16 people. Welcome back. President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi held a joint press conference with visiting Comoros Island President Azali Assoumani following their talks in Cairo on Sunday. Addressing the joint press conference, al-Sisi hailed the visit, stressing deep and historical ties between Egypt and the Comoros Islands, which share Arab, African, and Islamic identities. He said their talks discussed boosting ties across economic, investment, and trade fields. He also added that Egyptian government and companies are ready to pack development seams in the Comoros and to share expertise in this regard. He added that Egypt is ready to cooperate with the Comoros in various fields, especially the health, education, tourism, fisheries, and energy and infrastructure. He said both sides agreed to increase trade exchange, especially in light of their membership in the COMESA, in order to achieve the objectives of regional continental integration and to boost intra-African trade. He said the talks witnessed common views on regional and international issues of mutual concern, especially the situation in Sudan and developments in the Horn of Africa and fighting terrorism, overcoming developmental challenges and poverty, easing debt burdens, and facing climate change. Also topped the agenda of the talks, as well as working on guaranteeing the fair representations of Africa before international bodies. The presidential spokesman said they both witnessed a signing of a number of deals and MOUs. President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi stressed on the depth of Egyptian-Iraqi relations and reiterated full support to the Iraqi presidency of the upcoming Arab Summit. This came President al-Sisi meeting with Iraqi Deputy Prime Minister and Minister of Foreign Affairs Fouad Hussein, who handed an invitation to President al-Sisi to attend the 34th Ordinary Arab Summit and the 5th Arab Economic and Social Development Summit in Baghdad on the 17th of May. President al-Sisi welcomed the invitation and asserted keenness on the success of the summit. The meeting tackled means of promoting bilateral relations, particularly in the economic, commercial, and investment fields. The meeting also reviewed the latest regional developments, especially in Palestine and Syria, as well as ways to restore regional stability, stressing the centenary of the Palestinian issue to the Arab nation and rejection to all forced displacement of Palestinians from their lands. Minister of Foreign Affairs, Migration and Egyptian Expatriates Badr Abdel Ati received Iraqi Deputy Prime Minister and Minister of Foreign Affairs Fouad Hussein on Sunday. Foreign Minister Abdel Ati stressed Egypt's supportive stance towards Iraq's security and stability. He praised the bilateral relation on various fields during the previous years. The meeting tackled means of cooperation in the fields of electrical connection, infrastructure, combating terrorism and extremism, capacity building in supporting the Iraqi tourism in Egypt, as well as encouraging investment and trade exchange between both countries. The meeting reviewed the latest development, encouraging ongoing preparations for holding the upcoming Arab Summit in Baghdad on May 17th. The meeting also discussed ways to promote cooperation projects with Jordan with the framework of tripartite cooperation mechanism. Meanwhile, both ministers reviewed the latest regional development, topping of which the situation in Gaza Strip. Prime Minister Mustafa Madbouli witnessed the signing ceremony of an agreement between the Suez Canal Economic Zone and the Abu Dhabi Ports Group to establish an industrial and logistic zone located eastern Port Said. The project comes within the frame of strategic cooperation between Egypt and the United Arab Emirates. Prime Minister asserted that the treaty is an important step in the path of economic cooperation between the two states. Moving to Gaza, Israel's security cabinet is due to meet today. A government official said following missile attack on the country's main airport and after media reported a planned expansion of the Gaza war. Israeli media said on Saturday that the security cabinet would to convince to approve the plan to expand the military offense in the Gaza Strip with call-up orders issued for tens of thousands of reserve troops. Gaza's civil defense agency said Israeli strikes on the Palestinian territory killed 16 people, including at least 3 children. 6 people were killed in overnight airstrike in Khan Yunis governorate in the south of the Gaza Strip. Civil defense spokesman said they included 2 boys aged 5 and 2 in an apartment in Al-Mawasi, the civil defense. Later said 10 more people were killed in a strike on a tent also in Al-Mawashi, among them a child and 7 women. Israeli authorities were issuing orders to call up tens of thousands of reservists ahead of an expanded offensive in Gaza. Israeli media reported the move Saturday as Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu attacked truce mediator Qatar. More in the coming report. For Sudan airport. A Sudanese army spokesman made the statement on Sunday in the first RSF attack to reach the eastern port city. The spokesman said that no casualties were reported from the attack. The RSF has targeted power stations in army-controlled locations in central and northern Sudan for the past several months, but the strikes had not inflicted heavy casualties. The drone attack on Port Sudan indicates a major shift in the 2-year conflict between the Sudanese army and the RSF. The eastern regions, which shelter a large number of displaced people, had so far avoided a bombardment. The army has responded by filling up its development around vital facilities in Port Sudan and has closed roads leading to the presidential palace and army command. President Vladimir Putin said in remarks published on Sunday that Russia had sufficient strength and resources to take the war to Ukraine to its logical conclusion, though he hoped that where world war needed to be nuclear weapons. Putin ordered thousands of Russian troops into Ukraine in February 2022, triggering Europe's biggest ground conflict since World War II and the largest confrontation between Moscow and the West since the depth of the Cold War. Hundreds of thousands of soldiers have been killed or injured, and U.S. President Donald Trump has repeatedly said he wants to end the bloodbath that his administration casts as a proxy war between the United States and Russia. And moving to the economy, Egypt's bourse closed highly today, aimed to purchase by local cooperation and investment funds, as well as Arab investors against sell-offs by Arab and foreign corporations. The market capital of listed campaigns added 17 billion Egyptian pounds, exceeding 2 trillion pounds at the end of transactions that reached 8.2 billion pounds, and the benchmark index EGX 30 rose 0.7% above the 32,351 point mark, and the equal weighted indices EGX 70 and EGX 100 climbed 1.47% and 1.32% respectively. And as we speak now, Pyramids FC are hosting Farco in the fourth round of the Egyptian Premier League playoff stage. Top place Pyramids seeks to cement their lead. And gentlemen, by this we come to the end of our news of the 6 p.m. Cairo local time. This is Shurul Bakir. Hope you enjoyed what I did produce, and thank you for watching.